Hi all, Bill Greenberg from PhoneScholar.com. It is Monday, May 17th, 2010. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. And here we go. Got to start off with a correction from my blog on May 13th. I was talking about the Common Sense Mobile, the new Common Sense Mobile that Sprint's putting out for their pay-per-use card at 7 cents a minute. And the good folks over at Common Sense saw my blog and wrote me a note saying that I had an incorrect statement about the length of the card. So I want to read it. This is exactly what they told me, so I want everybody to know. Users forfeit funds 30 days after the active service period ends. So if a customer adds $20 for 30 days of active service, they have another 30 days to add more funds in order to keep the existing unused funds, totaling 60 days. I originally said they expired 30 days after activation, so that's not true. And I'm guessing if you do the $30 for 60 days, it ends after 90 days. So maybe 120, please check that out, but I wanted to make sure to get that right. Okay, so for today's news, I want to go over this is mostly for business customers, but 5 unexpected benefits of mobile enterprise. Now, what is mobile enterprise? That's when you literally bring all your communications together and basically, when you're using smartphones in the field, to get out to your salespeople and your other workers to get information, and anything else they may need. Basically a mobile enterprise system. BlackBerry was the first one kind of to come up with this, and they've perfected it to the nth degree with their business enterprise server, their BES. And they can do all kinds of amazing things with that, and they're set up for doing IT through having somebody in the office. If you lose your phone, they can shut it down, things like that. Fantastic. But most of the other smartphones have some sort of that, and basically getting like company emails and an infrastructure for emails and things like that through your company is the same thing as an enterprise system. So take a look at it. 72.2% of the workforce in 2008 used some kind of mobile tool, and they're predicting that by 2011, a third of the workforce, 1.2 billion workers, will be using some kind of mobility tool. So what are some of the benefits to creating an enterprise system for your business, even if it's a small business? Speed and efficiency. You're getting information out to these people as quick as possible, which then leads to more customer satisfaction because the customer gets the information right away while the person's standing in front of them waiting to have to get an email or something to that effect. Something most people don't think about, but if your business is showing that you're very technical savvy and on top of things, when you're looking for people to hire, you'll get the best candidates because they're going to want to come work for you. Using pictures to show products and services rather than having to try to explain it, again, makes it a lot easier, hence YouTube becoming such a huge search engine. Less reliant on IT problems, because once the phone is already programmed and ready to go, the person using it is very, very familiar with it, as opposed to having to go back and check a computer that they may not be. So again, less reliant. And of course, reduce printing, because instead of having to send out memos, print out memos, training, things like that, it can all be done through the smartphone, and obviously that reduces costs. So if you're a small business, big business, whatever it is, check it out. Check out the article. I think you'll get a lot of information out of it. Next, teens learn dangers of texting while driving. This is a wonderful thing. The Vermont police in the city of Vermont set up an obstacle course for teens to drive a golf cart through. The first time they sent them through, just sent them through, and most of them went through just fine. The second time they told them to text somebody that was sitting on the side waiting for them, and all of them failed miserably. And in fact, the Vermont police have said that there's been a 400% increase in traffic accidents due to cell phone usage over the past couple of years. So they really wanted to hit home the point with these kids. There was a booth that LG had at the CES show in January that you sat in a simulator, a car driving simulator, and they had you text or use your phone, and you rated on a scale of 1 to 9, 1 being the best, 9 being the worst. And as I sat there and watched 5 or 6 people, nobody got better than a 7 while they were using their phone. So something to think about. If you're doing it out there, please, please, please don't, because it's very dangerous. WHO, the World Health Organization, as in who's on first, sorry, I'm a huge Abbott and Costello fan, but WHO 10-year study finds no increased brain cancer risk with cell phone use. This is about the 3rd or 4th study of this type over a certain period of time. They tested 13,000 people. Now they did say that there's more study needed, especially for kids and adolescents, because that's never been a group that's been put into these focus groups of all these tests. Of course, that other 30-year studies going on that I talked about last month that you can look up. So now there were a couple of drawbacks with this test. Number one, they were concerned about the fact that since it started so in 2000 and over the last 10 years, the cell phone usage has increased so dramatically much that they're not sure if it's 100% accurate. They also asked people approximately how much you use rather than actually sit on the phone with people. So basically they were asking people how much their memory were, and they were talking with people who maybe use it half an hour a day or anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a month, which most of us use it quite a bit more than that. So again, this is not 100%, but this is about the third study of 10 years or more that's saying there's no link to it. Listen, in my opinion, if you're a heavy user, get a Bluetooth or a headset anyway. It keeps you from heating up and everything. And it's the same concept as when you fill up your tank, you should walk away from the hose because of the gas fumes. Have they proven that gas fumes can be harmful for you? Not yet, but why take the chance? So that's my recommendation. Do with it what you want. Steve Jobs, on an heated email exchange with a blogger named Ryan Tate, was defending the apps and the App Store for Apple. If you look at the article that's on the website, on the bottom is a link to the entire article that has the email exchange at the very bottom. There's some language in there that I don't truly want on my website, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't re-put it on there, and I gave you the link. So go ahead and check it out. But it is real interesting, the conversation back and forth between Steve Jobs and this guy, Ryan Tate. And the whole concept basically was, Ryan Tate actually accused Steve Jobs of turning his back on freedom and revolution. And they were talking about, Ryan Tate was saying that there should be complete open source. They're talking about sexual content apps. We all know what we're talking about with that. And complaining about the cross-platform stuff like the Flash not being on the Apple products, things like that, while Steve Jobs is saying they should just be using the older, the technology that's already there, prepared for them, and change the way they do things. So again, it's going to go back and forth, but it was a pretty interesting email exchange. I would check it out. It's really good. Under categories, Google has decided to stop selling the Nexus One online through Google Only, making it exclusive. So I would venture to say watch for it very soon on the T-Mobile website, since they're the only ones that are going to be carrying it for right now. Under HTC, there's a bunch of new HTC phones coming out. Unfortunately, most of them will be released in Europe and Asia at first, and then we get them about 6 months to a year later, but some nice stuff. And then there's an update for the iPhone legal case with the Gizmodo and the 4.0 leak. So have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow.